Madam Speaker, it is beyond me how Conservative member after Conservative member can stand in their place and mislead Canadians on the reality of what it is that was happening on this issue. Number one, this is to be going to the Procedures and House Affairs Committee, and the Conservatives are filibustering. And they're using the excuse of, well, who cares if Stephen Harper never did it? We have a new position that we're applying to this particular government, and even though it counters what the RCMP and what the National Auditor General are saying, and they are saying that this tactic that is used by the Conservatives with respect to the information being unredacted puts into jeopardy the issues, whether it's charter violations or others. Yet the Conservatives close their eyes, put their head in the sand, and ignore that. The question is, why do they ignore the RCMP and the Auditor General?
The honourable member for Fort McMurray Cold Lake.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And it is actually quite lovely to be able to address my colleague from Winnipeg North. I hold in my hand...
Sorry, the honourable member can't reference a document she may be wanting to speak about. So, the honourable member for Fort McMurray Cold Lake.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The member from Winnipeg North can't help himself. He has gotten up to speak at every single possible opportunity he has had on this bill, filibustering it to the tune of, as of last night, 10,151 words, which is over an hour of speaking time. If he had no problem with this, he would simply stop speaking and allow the documents to go unredacted. But they have something to hide. That is precisely why the member from Winnipeg North continues to get up on his feet, filibuster, preventing Canadians from getting to the bottom and getting to the truth. We are simply asking for the government, to allow these documents to go to the RCMP. If they have nothing to hide, why do they continue getting on his feet and talking about this bill?
Questions and comments? L'honorable député de Terrebonne.
The honourable member for Terrebonne. I'd like to thank my colleague for her speech. With this whole SDTC saga, what really strikes me is that this government is justifying itself based on very lofty principles. But really, all that's being asked for here is for documents to be produced because Parliament has the right to ask the government for documents, and it's the government's duty to provide them. What does my colleague think?
Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague for her question. It's rare that I agree with the Bloc Québécois about something, but this is an area where we completely agree. Because she's right, the House of Commons has the right to ask for documents. The Speaker himself produced a ruling asking for those documents, and that's why we're now debating a matter of privilege. That's fairly unusual overall in this Parliament. And yet, with 9 years of this NDP Liberal government, we more and more frequently have questions of privilege and conflicts of interest, simply because this Liberal government doesn't want to tell Canadians the truth. The RCMP needs to be able to carry out an exhaustive inquiry. Thank you.